And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show here at SNSN. You know, we always try to come up with some sort of topic, you know, that is relevant to the community and the state or whoever. And today we have a good one. We have a really, really good one, I think, because it is relevant for a lot of families out there. More than I think more than 50% of them.
Oh, at least
have this type of thought or feeling going into things. So women, here we go, guys. It's a dog eat world, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear. So here we go. There's get these levels right.
Yeah.
So I want to preface this by saying we're not here to attack anybody. We're not here to, to say, oh, woe is me, because of the dude. We're dudes and we've been through this. And we're certainly not looking to attack, any of the moms out there whatsoever. So it's not even about that.
Right.
But it's just a matter of, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You don't have somebody has a gavel in front of you.
Yeah.
And says, that's it. Incarceration. So
what's that? Canceled,
yeah. So one of the things that I put in the title, Rich, is that do men feel automatically defeated when they go to family court?
110%.
Huh?
110%.
Yeah.
Yep, I think very much. Oh, I've been there. I felt that.
Yeah, and I think so. And Connecticut has always been such a female state or a mom state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to say female state because I don't think that's correct. I think it's a mom
you're
state.
assuming their gender, right?
Yeah, whatever. There's two genders, folks, boys and girls. Okay, if you want to think differently, well, then good for you. So we would love your comments, by the way, if you are in the chat group. It's already starting, which is Cindy Martin says, interesting topic. Can't wait for the show to start. Here we go. And here's one from John Leonard.
Was it John Leonard? I know.
I don't know. I don't know.
From Montville? No, different John Leonard?
No,
okay.
It might be.
Yeah,
because God knows the name John isn't.
John Leonard together.
Okay.
That was
says, my world. I ended up with custody of my 3 kids. Despite that, I still had to fight the mom court, with the exception of one judge.
There you go.
So, I want to talk about the child support issue.
Mm-hmm.
if you have two kids and your relationship either ends up in a breakup or an unfortunate divorce, what happens? You got to go to court.
Right.
That's usually how it is. I mean, there's very few that are going to work it out together.
Well, I think even then you still got to go to court.
No.
Oh, you still have to have the judge sign the divorce decree?
You could have two people just, I mean, after a divorce or whatever, if they're going to agree, because it's really all it is. All court is let's agree.
Yeah. I think the judge still has to sign it. That's mediation. What I'm saying. Yeah.
No, you don't have to. As long as you have, like if you have a husband and ex-husband, ex-wife, if they don't agree, that's when you go to court. But if they agree, you don't have to do anything. If you agree on compensation or whatever. So, I want to say this the right way because this could blow up in a hurry.
Well, I'm sure someone will be offended.
Oh yeah, whatever. It's only when one person doesn't agree.
Yep.
Then they feel like they need to go to court, and then it gets, there's a heated exchange a lot of times because it is going to court, and really all court is it's just to decide differences. Usually because what happens? Yeah. So what happens? You go in there, and they're going to immediately refer you to family relations.
Yeah, it's automatic. Yeah,
right. So you go to family relations and everything, and I think now I haven't been through this in a long time. I got a feeling it's coming up again. Okay. But I'm saying, as soon as anytime that I've gone into family relations, I've always felt that I was 2 steps behind the 8 ball. No matter how prepared I was, no matter how much documentation I had of what I had, had paid and whatever, you always feel like you're behind the 8 ball. I mean, is that
yeah? I've had a family when I had mine. I had a family mediator. She was brand new, actually, and she was a man hater. And I was told that by a couple different people. And no matter what, the female was correct. The male was wrong, and didn't matter what the point was. Didn't matter anything. You're the man. Shut up. And I was pretty much told that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
That's what I thought. I don't know why they call it mediation, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's supposedly you got to fill out the income form or whatever.
Yeah, financial affidavit. Yeah.
Exactly. And then they decide, which is a joke.
Yeah,
it's a freaking joke. That is, I mean, come on, I think we can all agree that that's a joke. And the reason why is they're gonna judge what you're, and this is male or female. It doesn't matter actually. I mean, there are plenty of times where guys will take their mother to court, because she doesn't have custody, and then she's to pay child support. So it's both sides of the flip here. It doesn't. It's not just dudes. So yeah, you have to fill out this financial affidavit, and really, it's based on you could list all of your bills.
Yeah, you have to.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they don't take that into consideration.
No, they are taking what you bring in and whatever you're paying out. I was actually told by the judge, not my problem.
Yeah, and you know what? That just means right there. You talk about the court system being broken.
Yep,
that's broken for men and women.
Yep,
it's absolutely broken.
Yeah,
if you put that you make $2,000 a month, and then you have all these bills that bring it down to like your netly, or actually they do it
gross, I think.
Weekly though.
Yeah.
So let's say you're making $500 a week, right? And then you list all of your weekly expenses, blah, 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 to the point where it's down to, and legitimately down to maybe $75 a week or $50 a week, if that.
Yeah, judge says get another job.
Yeah.
Well, don't you want me to have my kids?
Well, what I'm saying is that the number that it's not based on that weekly number that you end up with. It's based on what you make.
Right.
Nothing else matters. I don't even know why they have you fill out that form. I honestly, if anybody knows, tell me, because I have no idea why people have to fill that damn form out, because the whole thing means nothing.
Pretty much. But I think it was they tried to do it based on, I think at some point it probably had validity in the beginning, but I think it became more and more and more of a broken home situation, that I think things just went downhill from there. I think that's what there was so much of a influx of broken homes, and they're like, oh, then you started getting judges up there that, let's be honest, they don't live in the same world.
No.
They make more money than God half the time. So,
well, now let me ask you a question. And also, people in the chat groups on social media, does this become a situation where we're just trying to find out if, or how much the parent, because, I'm just going to say the parent instead, because it's men and women,
yeah,
how much they're going to pay in child support? Or now, if once they do that, or is it a matter of, I'm going to win
for the parent themselves?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 100% how much you're going to win.
I'm going to win.
Yeah. It's like going to the
casino.
casino.
To get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's now become a vendetta.
Yeah.
Of one parent against the other.
Which is why
and this is not broken?
Yeah. And which is why I think the financial affidavit in the beginning was meant to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's based off of a formula, based off of your financial affidavit, which is why I think the initial thought was to take the feelings out of it, the emotions maybe. So they're going to, we'll bring in your income, bring out what you're putting out, and then we're taking all emotions out of it. I think that was the original intent, but now I think it's overblown. It's huge. It's ridiculous. You can't expect someone to pay the amount of money. Like I have to pay almost $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
I was paying $400 a week at one time.
How are you expecting someone to take care of their child and pay this amount of money out when you had the financial affidavit saying that's not even possible?
So, speaking of which, Cindy says, I know several people, men and women, who inflate their expenses to purposely try to pay less in support. Mm-hmm. Age-old issue of a few bad apples spoil it for all, which is true. So that's why I said that financial affidavit, it's a flipping joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke, and this is one of the reasons why that family court is broken.
Yeah.
It's absolutely broken. This is not about the kids. This is not about the kids at all. This is about one parent against the other. Exactly. And who's going to win. It's not even about right or wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because let's say you one of your exes, right? Mm-hmm. When you guys get in an argument, and if it gets a little heated, doesn't the whole idea of it being, who's right and who's wrong goes right out the window?
Yeah, it's about what happened 6 months ago. Or
it turns out to being who's going to win.
Yeah.
Who's going to win?
Yeah,
that's all that matters. I'm not going to admit defeat, right? No, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, look, I'm no angel. I have no angel. I'm never going to. No.
What are those wings for? The halo.
They're a little clip. Let me tell you. So you have these situations where it becomes a battle between both parents.
Mm-hmm.
Is that healthy for the kids?
Not at all.
Because of course they say family relations. Well, it's not healthy for the kids. To see you guys arguing like this.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
And they always have a
20-something-year-old lady with no life experience telling you that, right? Yeah. Right. But which is what happened.
Or you're gonna have to hire a guardian ad litem for your minor child, because they need an attorney against their parents.
Yeah.
Because the state says so.
Mm-hmm. But
and then you have to pay for that too.
Oh yeah.
Dad, you're gonna have to pay for that guardian ad litem.
But no, I think a lot of it does hurt the child more, and I do think all the arguing does hurt the child.
Yeah.
And I don't see why they should be arguing like that in front of their child to begin with, because it makes them feel like they're responsible somehow.
The thing is, everybody pays.
Everybody
pays.
Yeah, keep it to yourself.
The one parent, the custodial parent, feels like they can't get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The child support paying parent is like, God, I can't even get ahead in this world. And then you have the kids. They know it.
Yeah, they'll see everything. They hear everything.
I had a situation where my kids knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you almost you almost put it out there. Well, you do put it out there.
Whether you realize it or not, yeah.
Yeah, with the kids, that because you always paid your child support, that all of a sudden, I took care of my obligation. They don't like that.
No.
They don't like that at all.
No.
And you know what? They shouldn't.
No, they don't understand it either. All they know is, am I getting what I need? Am I getting the love I need? Am I getting the affection I need from my parents? And
Bob says no one wins, which is true.
Yeah.
Daryl from the Healthy Computer, School Street, Jewett City. Call him today. How's that, Daryl? Did I do all right? The only winners in a divorce are the lawyers.
True statement.
Bob comes in once again. It's your kid. Just pay what the court says.
I think that's easier said than done half the time, but
yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to. So here's the thing. I was told that I pay 52% of my child's upkeep.
Yeah, I was gonna go there in a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So they decide a number.
Yeah.
On what you're currently making. To be, you're already smirking. You're already smirking. And then they say you're making you supply 52% of what this child, right? Well, guess what? The custodial parent's never gonna say you're paying 52%. No. What about shoes? What about this? What about that?
Yeah, especially when kids go home and used clothes, hand-me-downs, and the parents going away to Las Vegas vacations and Bermuda and all this other stuff. And
yeah.
This is why that's why I like the idea. I know probably going to get slaughtered on social media for this, but whatever.
It's all right. It's like family court. Just like family court, It's
like, why not have the person receiving the child support provide receipts and financial affidavits where that money is going towards?
They can't. Well, and the reason why is because the way the court explains it is it's not, it's child support. It's not food support. There's a portion of that supposedly, goes to the heating cost, the electrical costs, living, rental cost or mortgage or whatever.
Sure. Which is why I know, like, my spouse ended up getting this nice new huge house. But why not?
You're not bitter though.
No, I'm not. No. Which, good for her. I'm happier, but whatever. Okay.
You don't sound happy about it.
No, I'm not happy because then all of a sudden, and I've seen this with a lot of other people too, the kids aren't getting new clothes that you're providing money for. They're not getting new sneakers. They're not getting the care that they're supposed to receive. And then you make a bitch about it. And then all of a sudden you're the bad guy. And they're like, well, maybe you need to contribute more money. Well, no, because I'm already being able to buy the food I need when I have them because I'm paying all this, plus the extra credit cards and everything else that was racked up during the marriage and this and that. So I don't think that the other half should be able to live a higher lifestyle after you get divorced because you're paying child support. And I've seen that happen with almost every single, not even just women on the other half, and men too.
That's why I started saying the custodial
parent. On both sides. And I don't think that's right. Because it's, especially when it's very, very.
So now somebody could sit here and go, gee, Rich, you're just talking sour grapes.
No, I think I don't even have to provide proof. I think if people just went out there and talked to people that go through it, they would see it. I think it's very evident, which is why it's brought up. This is why it's brought up in court. It's brought up. I think someone tried creating a state statute for it. It's a very real thing.
Yeah.
It's basically like, I hate to use the term, but child labor is like you're using children to make an income. Like you can't say that much money is needed when both parents are working to provide the care for that child.
I knew a custodial parent. We'll just say that. Not anything to do with any situation that I've been involved in. And this is speaking to your point.
Yeah.
Who had 2 kids, had a third. I understand part of this, you know, why, because in a way, it makes sense. So what happened is that, and this was a she, had a third child, received child support. However, it would get filtered through the state.
Yeah.
And then filtered back down. And because she received benefits, food stamps, and cash, they kept, I think, like $100 of the child support, and the rest still went to her. And it's like, well, I don't want to work. I don't need to work. Why don't you need to work? Well, I have this coming in. I have all this. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I can sit down and watch the Weather Channel all day. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are doing.
Sure.
You know, they're on the government tape,
playing the game. Yeah.
Exactly. And then when you are, why go to work when you're going to pay more of that in daycare if you don't have somebody to watch your children?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense to go to work at that point. People don't like to hear that shit. You know what I mean?
No,
you know, they were like, oh, you know, it's like.
I mean, I've always liked the idea of daycare. My son went to daycare 5 days a week. But I think I liked it because of the socialization aspect, which I know it's expensive. And honestly, it's outrageously expensive. But
so Laura says, I know some people that not legally married had kids and ended their relationship. They had a mutual agreement in regards to child support and custody. Then things happened, and one parent decided they needed to make it a legal agreement. That's exactly what we talked about earlier, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's like, Rich, you and I could have an agreement, right? You know, because two dudes, you know, that happens these days, and it's okay.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 2 years later, it's like, you know what?
This ain't working out.
You have yourself a new relationship. I'm still a little bitter. Screw you. We're going to go to court.
I think the other half in that new relationship has something to do with it too. But
well, let me finish. Let
me
me finish reading this. And things happened. And one parent decided it was a long statement. They needed to make it a legal agreement. They denied getting any child support, even though the other parent had proof. They were ordered to pay back child support. It's a shame things happen like this. So, in other words, even though the one person had proof, they were still found to be in arrearage.
Yeah, well, that was part of. Well, I'll leave my relationship out of it, but because people know her. So I won't say anything. But one of the best things our judge said at the end of my divorce, and this is the only, honestly, and I'll say it now, good thing I think he ever did say, was we need a legal document right now, and that's your baseline. So fall back. Yeah. From now on, you do what's best for the kid. No matter what's in the agreement, as long as you both are in agreement. But if things go south or for whatever reason on your agreement, you always revert back to the legal agreement.
You know, that's just as good as a restraining order.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and here's something that happened to me. All right, I gotta, and this is just because this one I just never understood this.
Restraining orders, or
no. I had one of my children, and I was only and let me tell you something. It was micromanaged to the point where she made it where I only had 19 hours a week. 19 hours a week with my kid. That's it. And the court agreed with her. I didn't have an attorney. Her attorney actually tried to make it that if I had to take the child to the doctor, that was parenting time.
Really?
Yeah. See, because they don't care. The lawyers, they don't give a crap. No. Sorry if we have lawyers out there, but you don't give a crap when it comes to this. You know, you really don't.
Your number 165432. Did you pay your bill? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So all you're looking for is the win, 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 win. All I do is win, win, win. That's all they want to do.
I sent an email for you. Right.
But then again, that's what they're paid to do.
Yeah.
That's what they're paid to do. They're hired hands.
If they do it, which is why I sent mine into bankruptcy. But
yeah. So anyway, we were at a bakery, My stepmother and my father were with me as well.
Oh.
And we were having muffins, coffee, milkshake, sitting there. I called. Hey, we're going to be a few minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
We're finishing up homework at a restaurant because that was part of the agreement that I
had to go to a public place, or
no
the homework.
Where else was I going to go? I mean, there was no local place.
Okay, that's right. You're far away from there, right?
Yeah. So, okay. And then I got hung up on. At 6:05, police show up at the bakery. Police wanting to know why I have not returned the child at 6:00.
Which is not a police matter, so I don't understand why
it's civil. It's civil.
It's a family court, yeah.
So I showed the officer. I said, look, I called. I said, we were doing homework, and there's my elderly parents, The guy laughed. He said, look, you're going to have to fight this out in family court. A female officer went in, grabbed my kid, brought her out, handed her to her mother.
I would have filed a complaint right there, yeah.
That's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, I would have filed a complaint right there.
And this is the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is just not fair because it didn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it affected? My kid. Because my kid, even to this day, says, you remember that time the policeman came and took me out of the bakery?
I have that on my son. My ex-wife did that on Christmas. He made some cookies and the dessert and everything, and we were running a little late, so I text her.
At 6:05.
Yeah, I text her and said, hey, we're going to be running a few minutes late. Ryan made a dessert. He wants to have some. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, 2 cops showing up at the door, and she's sitting in the street.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And my child's mother was just right around in the same parking lot, acting like, oh, my God, it's terrible. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah, which is where it doesn't benefit the kid at all. No. Now, what he remembers on Christmas is,
because
I remember
the kids remember it. They see it.
Remember the cops coming on Christmas. Are they coming again this year? Yeah.
So these fights that we all go through.
Yeah. Let it go.
Yeah. Because really, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean crap.
Oh.
And what happens? The kid doesn't forget.
No.
The kid will not forget.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what will happen as a result of that, too? Kids with the custodial parent. Yeah, I know, Mom. I know. I understand everything. Then the kids with you. Yeah, I understand it. Now they're torn.
Yeah.
They're torn.
Yeah. No matter how bad one is or the other, they only remember that they're my mother or father most of the time.
Well,
most of the time.
Honestly, I mean, there are times where you need to call police. I get it. You have to call police, to
something serious,
mediate a situation or whatever. But this was just asinine.
Yeah, being late because of
asinine.
Cookies and ice cream doesn't. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
But you going back to the original point, you go to court with that, and they're like, "Well, you were late. You were, holding them back from their custodial mother or father." So
Laura says, "Shame on the parent that made a scene in front of the kids." And that's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. It was exactly what happened, and it's pathetic. It really is, because a lot of it is, look at me, me. I'm me. Mm-hmm. I'm in charge here. You're not. And that's another thing too. It's about who's.
Oh, it's power. Yeah.
Remember we talked about earlier. Yep. It's not about right or wrong. It's about who's going to win.
Right. Yeah, it's about power. Right. I have the power over you, and that's it.
Daryl says, how about paying more in alimony than the other party does in child support when you have sole custody? Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're paying me $100 a week, but then you turn around, you're going to pay me $120.
Yeah. And then your pension.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's I mean, nobody wants to sit here and trash one parent over the other.
No, and like every situation is
because I
different.
think the court system sucks.
Well, I think they do that for you. So yeah.
They don't help. They don't help it at all. You're right. You're right.
And then they wonder why they have domestics, because you're putting the stress on the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't even give them half a chance to sometimes even agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been proven too that child support payments, if something happens, you know, or whatever, and let's say that for 3 years, no problems, you know, everything is just hunky dory with child support, and all of a sudden, boom, dad loses or mom loses their job.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
Still owe it.
Oh yeah,
doesn't matter.
You could be going to court,
you
know, and then the judge will say, all right, well, we're going to send you to family relations, so we'll make sure that, you know, there's some sort of agreement between the two of you. If not, then bailiffs, are you here in case we have to incarcerate?
Yeah, I love that one. Lock them up, and then they have to pay. Well, how are they going to pay if they're locked up?
All right. Yeah. And okay, Bob, got it for you here. He says, you guys didn't have good lawyers. What?
Actually, I was told I had one of the best lawyers in Southeastern Connecticut.
But then again, how are you going to get a really, really good lawyer if you can't even afford what they're trying to tell you to pay in the first place? Yeah, well, you know, you're going to have to bring us a $5,000 retainer.
Yeah, mine was a $9,000 retainer.
Yeah, come on.
And then they still said I owed them more money at the end. Yeah. But you have to give something like that. Honestly, maybe the court should just say, hey, here's some mediators. You guys sit down, leave the lawyers out of it, come up with an agreement, and call it a day. That's
Christine says relationships don't last as long as they used to. I'm 49 and people still are yelling at me. I miss some of the old days, but unfortunately, some people can't stand up for what they want. The home wreckers should really get a grip. It's kids. They're the ones that are in the middle.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and yeah, I mean, if you don't have a good lawyer, okay, tell me how much you can afford. You know, and you're going to get, you know, I mean, what do you want? You want Kohl's? You want Macy's? Or you want Walmart?
Honestly, I don't know if the lawyers, at least in a lot of divorces, even help. That's
no, I don't think so either.
No, I don't.
Sometimes, you know, if you have an agreement between the parties, you know, that one lawyer becomes a mediator themselves.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, between the two.
Yeah. I mean, you have two lawyers half the time. They're causing more of a problem than if they're causing more of a riff, and they're just to make more money. That's what I think half the time.
All right. So here's one thing I did. You know what? I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to tell you a story that happened with me. And this was about, I want to say 20 years ago. So this is, I think it's, you'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
We'll be back just a minute, and make sure, please, listen to our sponsors, listen to their messages, and please patronize their businesses, because they're the ones that are the ones that make sure that we get to go out and do sporting events.
Excellent.
And bring them to you, and news and all this good stuff. So anyway, we'll be back in a minute right here on SNSN.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, project coordinator of Grizzled Pride, your drug-free community coalition. We want to help you keep your kids safe during this challenging time. Social distancing is still in effect, and so is the social host law. Reports are coming in that teens are contracting the virus at underage drinking parties. Parents, allowing underage drinking on your property could land you in jail for up to a year, plus fines. Another reason why you should not provide alcohol to our youth. For more info, go to grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports, and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street.
Hey, I'm Jess, but you can call me the Tire Queen. For the best deals on tires, come and see me at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Call me at 860-376-8687. But definitely don't talk to my dad. He's definitely not the Tire King.
And right now, Jess the Tire Queen has great deals and excellent service waiting for you at Advanced Automotive, Route 138, Griswold.
Tire Queen.
You buy better, is upon us. Let's not fall into bad habits and let another insurance policy go by without review. Our offices are open and our licensed agents are available to shop your policy coverage and prices with dozens of insurance companies. Phone, email, 24-hour chat, or a good old-fashioned face-to-face meeting. We offer it all. Home, auto, business, and life. The Burns Agency has been a trusted, full-service insurance solution in your community since 1932. There's no better time to start saving than today. The Burns Agency, Norwich, Dayville, or online at burnsagency.com.
Better Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
Reliable plumbing and heating services are just a phone call away when you contact the professionals at McGuire Plumbing and Heating in Voluntown. Family owned for more than 35 years, McGuire Plumbing and Heating has earned a reputation by providing accurate quotes and being open and honest when on the job, plus giving honest advice that may be needed down the road but isn't an immediate concern today. Find McGuire Plumbing and Heating on Facebook or call 860-376-3388. Look for the big truck with the little Irish fella. McGuire Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of Griswold Youth Football.
News and information you need for your day. SNSN.
And good morning. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Minarski and Rich Waslick.
What's up?
Giddy up. I thought it was you can't make love to that microphone. You're like, hey, you're right on it. Get down, make love. All right. So we have a very poignant discussion this morning about courts and kids and moms and dads and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Talking about child support issues and what happens and whatever. So I had said that I had a situation a while ago that I want to explain, and I put my foot down, and you'll hear it. Richard says shared custody neither pays child support. Shared custody pays child support is the way to go. Worked for us. Incomes were close. Judge went with it 50-50 custody.
That's not bad.
And you know what? That's a win-win for the kids.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's it.
Yep.
And again, I'm no angel. You know, I mean, I'm not perfect. So I literally had one of those situations in life where I came home from work and everything was gone. That was not even a lie.
Wow.
So I did. I came home, and matter of fact, Chris, I don't know, or John, I call him Chris, but anyway, John Leonard, who's he's very familiar.
Okay.
Because his ex-wife helped.
Oh,
so yeah. So anyway, long story short, my ex emptied everything out of the house, left, and that was that. They even took my stock certificate.
Oh.
She did. She couldn't do anything with it, but I mean,
that's kind of
literally took stock certificates that I had from Tandy Corp, or now Radio Shack Corp. Well, it's not anything. Actually, no, they're still there, but they're devalued to almost nothing. So we went to court. She had to fly back for court. And the judge says, what do you want me to do? Tell him to move back? I'm like, no. I know you can't do that. I tried. I can't. Okay. So they set up child support. Okay. It was actually a livable number. Fair. And then she got whacked with a couple of things. Number one, that when the child was to come stay with me, mom pays for travel.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Okay, because it was
they
her
left
that,
on their own, right?
It was her that left.
Yeah.
It was also this is a good one. This is a good one. You ready? Oh, okay. Anita, I get your quote, but listen to the rest of this story. And we'll see who takes advantage of what. The other thing that she was ordered to do, or we were both, was every other year you'd claim the child tax credit on your taxes.
Yeah, we have that.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Every other year.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Oh.
She never bought a plane ticket. And she always got her tax forms before I did. Took that deduction every single year. Could I have gone to court? Yeah.
Is it worth it? Right.
So I added it up because the child was 3 at the time. So there were 7.5 times that I would be able to. So let's just say 7. I couldn't even tell you what the child tax credit is. It's like $1,500.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Because I've never been able to take it. So there you go. Ever. So $1,500 times 7 is what?
Are you asking me to do math?
It's $10,500. Never bought a plane ticket. Plane ticket is what?
Depending on where you're going.
From where? Yeah. They to go to Kansas and back because nobody flies to Kansas.
Do they have an airport?
They do.
Oh, okay.
4 terminals. That's it. Well, 4 terminals. So it's hard to get it's not like, saying, I'm going to go to Jacksonville for $85. No. It was $400 to $500, sometimes more for a round trip ticket. Okay. So let's just say 4. 2 times a year. $800, right?
Yeah.
Times 15 years. How much is that?
Again, math. You're asking me.
So we do the math. 800 times 15. It's a lot.
1,000. I don't know, 10,000.
Okay.
Give or take. Just guessing, but.
So then, when my son turned 17, I called him up. And he said, hey, I'm not paying your mother any more money. I said, but I'll pay you.
There you go.
I said, she's not getting another dime from me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, all right.
Yeah, get it up.
And I'm like, I said, this is not a matter of trying to sway you or anything like that. But, you have a car and you have insurance payments and everything. I want to make sure that, it goes to you. Well.
How'd that go over?
Oh, not very well.
Yeah.
So I get calls from her, and she's like trying to lambaste me, and she goes, "I'm going to take you to court." I said, "Do it." I said, "Do it." I said, "I dare you." I said, "You don't want to go to court right now because you'll lose. You're going to look horrible. You owe me about $22,000 over 15 years. Child support for the year was probably about $8,000. I said, you do the math. So then, about 9 years ago, 9 years? Yeah, 9 years ago, I actually filed for bankruptcy. But I filed Chapter 13, so I had a payment plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I did pay. I paid off, creditors and everything.
Yeah.
But this was a long time ago. Told you I had a dark, dreary past. She files a claim
Against the bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Really?
For $100,000.
What?
Yeah. So my attorney calls and says, "Is this a legitimate number?" Yes. She's on speakerphone. I'm just sitting there. Well, just so you know, you're going to have to prove that number. And if you can't, then that's a problem. She goes, and he goes, ma'am, this is a federal court.
Yeah.
This is not state court. The very next day, she rescinded her claim.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't. Yeah, that's a little bit different than family court.
Right.
Yeah.
So I told her, I said, I'm not paying you a damn dime. I said, I never got this. I said, I paid for every plane ticket. There you go. And she always tried to intimidate me. She always tried to intimidate me. But now I stood up and went, no more. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think a lot of that's used a lot.
Hmm?
I'm going to take it to court. That's used a lot. And it's used as an intimidation factor instead of just working it out and pulling your big boy pants up. And
so Anita says it's a myth that men are taken advantage of in divorce court. Connecticut judges routinely ignore a child support guideline to order lower child support payments for men. I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
No, that's not true.
And I have lots of friends that pay child support. I've never, ever seen that.
Yeah, that's not true.
So, I mean, I'm not going to dispute
There might be
your
a
claim, but
there are cases where the child support is not necessarily ignored. It's just hard to enforce. They actually have a department in Connecticut that does enforce it. I know a guy that works in it.
Child support enforcement.
Yeah. And it's very hard for them to go after the guy for child support or a woman. And there's a lot of cases too, because the courts allow so much time for you to pay the money.
Right.
They do get arrested. I've known cases where people have been arrested for not paying child support.
One thing that I've known from a couple of people and a couple of friends that I've known, that if they get into an arrearage situation, what the court will do, and I have seen, I don't know if they do it anymore, but what I have seen, because I don't really have people with young kids anymore, so that I know their personal business, they'll take the amount that you owe or you. Right. And then they divide it up into some ridiculous number and you add that into what you're already paying. So, So I know one guy was paying $96 and then he had to add 11 or 12 or something like that every week.
Wow. That's it.
Yeah. To take care of the arrearage. That was it. Wow. Well, John Leonard that we saw in the group earlier, his one of the things that he said is his ex-wife owes him over $20,000 in child support. That's why I said custodial parent. It's not just men.
No,
it's women too.
Both sides. Yeah.
It's both. It's just sexy for, because the guy always gets crapped on. That's always the story, but it's not always the truth.
No.
So, and she pays back $12.45 a week.
Damn, I buy that.
And his kids are all grown. His kids are all grown now.
Wow.
Yeah, his daughter is an adult, and so.
Well, I know what they do with mine is they just automatically take it out of my paycheck. I don't even see it.
Yeah, with me,
I wasn't even given a choice.
No. With me, what I did is when the child support order came down for Rihanna, they said you could go ahead and just have it set up where it's automatically drafted. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
So I did. So I've never even seen it.
They never gave me a choice. My ex-wife says this is what I want. And the judge was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's never been an issue,
I find it easier because I don't have to think it. I don't even see it. It's like, I don't even see it. So
yeah. And every 2 weeks on Friday, this is my off week.
Comes out of every single paycheck.
Exactly. So now here's another issue that I think a lot of non-custodial parents face. And that's the psychological end of it. Okay. So let's say they're having a hard time making child support payments. It's really, really tight for them.
So in a lot of cases it is.
Yeah. Right. In a lot of cases it is.
Yeah.
So you go over and get your child. What's your child want to do? Stuff.
Yeah.
They want to do this, that, and the other thing. Because they're kids.
Oh, yeah.
And they're happy to see you, and let's do something fun. I ain't got no money.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Been there.
I got nothing to. Oh. So what do you think happens?
They want to go back to the other ones.
Yeah. And then you feel degraded.
Mm-hmm.
Not good enough.
Yep.
So there's the mental issue. This is the thing. I mean,
it's real life.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real. And this is what, the custodial parent doesn't see. Or if they don't, because again, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. It's who's going to win. And I've said that since the very beginning of this show today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
But then again, the custodial parent is feeling, the non-custodial parent is feeling, and they feel it, it's like, I can't. And then you're feeling, well, I can't match up what they do. I can't because I have this and they have that. And, okay. So I can go get a second job, or people can go get a second job, or even a third job.
Yeah. What time does that take away?
Then what happens?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Daddy will be there in a little bit, but I just want to let you know I'm really tired.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, I'm really tired because I got to pay all this child support and I got no money for nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to get a second job.
Well, I used to get the, hey, by the way, my job, they're like, hey, by the way, you're not going home today. I was like, well, I got to pick up my son. That's like, that's not our problem.
Oh, yeah.
So now
that's happened to me one time. I said,
yeah.
oh, really? It's not? Okay. Well, it's going to be your problem. See ya.
Yeah.
And I left.
Yeah. We didn't have that choice. So they were like, yeah, well, it's not our problem. So I'd have to call and say, hey, I'm being ordered in at work. We call it order-ins or mandates. And they're like, well, and even her, that's not my problem. So now I got to call I got to find, that's another stress. Now you got to find someone else to go get them. And then I have to explain to the kid why you can't go and this and that. And you're losing the time. It's right.
But these are real things. I mean, we can sit here and candy coat, all of these situations, but these are real feelings and emotions, that non-custodial parents go through.
Yeah.
They question their self-worth, because they can't do anything with the kids. Why? Because they don't have any money left after they paid their obligation that the court says that you need to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a good lawyer, you may be paying more than that. And alimony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's not.
Who wins? You're not screwing your ex. Screwing your own kids.
I think, like you said, that's where a lot of it gets lost. And then in the end, what do the kids feel like? That's one of the biggest things.
And then they feel like they got to choose.
Right.
So when they say that, the kids are the ones that lose, it's true.
Yeah. And
they're the ones that are in the middle because, they're watching mom and dad fight. They don't want that. No. They just want to love both of you and that's it.
And in a lot of cases, they lose for the rest of their life because now they think that's the norm.
And a lot of times they just want you guys to get back together.
Yeah.
Because
that'll make everything better.
Well, to them.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
We had a situation, Rihanna just said, I want you and mommy just to be together. And we went out one day, her and I, and we went to Friendly's and got ice cream. And he was sitting there and she was telling me about, how life would be, and I looked at her and I said, yeah. I said, those are really nice things to think about. I said, mommy and I, we don't care for each other that way. And she said to me, well, don't you love mommy? And you know what? And it's true. I said, yes. I said, but not like that.
Yeah.
And, well, if you love mommy, why can't you be with her? So you're not going to go there, right? You're not going to go there. And then I just say, all I said to her was, it's better off that we are not, and we can be better parents for you.
That's a good answer.
Because one thing I didn't want to do, and you don't want to slam the other parent.
Yeah.
Because either way, that kid, right,
Mm-hmm.
loves that.
Yeah, no matter what. Parent, no matter what the real story is. Yeah.
And then if you start degrading the other parent, or they start doing it to you, the child almost feels like, am I making a bad choice?
Yeah.
They're they feel like
or they resent you, one or the other.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Mm.
Resent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that.
No.
Christine says, if it's their child, they should love, nurture, play, and be supportive even when the times have changed for whatever, no matter where their actions or jobs take them. Okay, I'm packing my house because some hardships have come once again, job lapse or whatever. I'm sorry, Christine.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Hmm.
And that's, I mean, a lot of things,
It's
happen.
life. That's
COVID. That has done, that has destroyed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not just because of sickness and unfortunate death, but just financially because people can't work.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not on the...
You don't get that money.
You don't get that money. Some other lady, Kathy.
Oh, who is she?
I don't know. You tell me. We don't have child support. He makes much less, so I would give the kids money so they could... Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Sugar mama?
Not for me.
So they could do things with their dad. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Oh, listen,
No,
you.
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
wow.
But
Really,
yeah,
Kathy?
she does make a lot more money than I do. But
What's it?
but that's
Slower?
that.
No.
That is true though.
Yeah. And it's okay to say that now, because, like, well, she makes more money than me.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Because it used to be a big pride issue, right? Because I'm the breadwinner. All right. They do things so they can do things with their dad when they're with him so they can enjoy the time with him. And that's true. That's very, very true. I think that's very, very important. And I think you can't have one that's short-sighted and one that's looking at the long term.
Right.
You have to be able to communicate. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of instances like that. Like my son, he'll take everything that we buy him and he'll bring it to his mom's house.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. Like, well, what do I say? We tell him, well, bring it all back.
Yeah.
But do you tell him not to bring it to his mom's house all the time? Because are you really cutting?
Yeah.
It's his stuff. So it's hard. It's a hard fence to play on. It's.
I'm not. I've never had any kind of training as far as being, a family therapist or counselor or anything like that. I think I've had some real world experience, as have you. I think this is an important conversation to have in this type of forum because you can just kind of let it go, and whatever we're talking about, we can be held accountable because of the people that are listening and commenting, and that's really, really important. At least to me, and we've been getting a lot of engagement.
Yeah,
from folks.
Yeah, this is a lot from what I've seen. Yeah,
it's been a lot lately. I mean, it's really have grown a lot.
Good,
and that's what this show is all about. I mean, it's about let's all just talk, about Jerry Springer. Of all people, right?
Yeah.
He, has a very sensationalistic show, and it's just all shock stuff and everything.
We used to have Jerry Springer hour at the firehouse.
Oh God.
Kathy went to Jerry Springer actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, she had a sweatshirt and everything.
Oh no, really? Because he's in Connecticut now, right? Or he was.
He was in Stanford.
Yeah. So, but whatever you thought or think of that guy, Jerry Springer. He always ended the show by saying one thing, and it was take care of yourself and each other. And it's true. And I think in situations like this, when you have two parents and they're trying to do what they think is best for them, and they lose sight of what's going on with the kids.
Yeah. That's why we have a rule in my divorce agreement where if there's transportation required, I have to provide it. No matter what the circumstance is. And lately in the last couple of years, it's been more easy.
Yeah.
And she's actually provided some of the transportation. So like, finally, listen, this isn't about us. This is
exactly
what's best for him. He's in high school.
Talking about Ryan, right?
Yeah, like, he's in high school now. You have to think about what's best for him. It's not. Many times I've gone for a 16-hour shift, slept for 4 hours, gone and picked him up 30 minutes away, come back, and it's what's best for him.
Yeah,
but they don't understand that, the kid. But I don't think they should have to 100%.
They shouldn't have to worry about it at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a good, valid conversation. And so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I always ask the people on our social media platforms that if you have a subject or a guest or a type of guest that you would like to hear about or hear from, that we can bring in here, whether it's in person or virtual, certainly let us know. You can find me on Facebook. I'm not hard to find. And or you can email me at mike@snsnonline.com. You could certainly do that. And we would love to hear your input on.
It'd be nice to know what they consider pertinent to them.
It'd
be nice to hear what they consider what's pertinent for them. That's
exactly. Something about your community, or because all we do here, and I said it a million times, is that we just facilitate conversation. We're not. I said earlier, I'm not a counselor. I'm not a. But sometimes you have real world experience that means a lot. So tomorrow we have a couple coming in after 9:00. I'm going to talk about a situation that they had with your kid in school, where I guess the kid, his mask was pulled down a little bit, and there were some backlash.
He got
with the kid
suspended or something, or had to sit out during an ice cream social or something.
Yeah. And we're going to talk to the parents about that tomorrow. So
that would be interesting.
We'll see how that goes. But I'll definitely be looking forward to getting the parents' point of view. I have reached out to the school, and
I guess they didn't answer.
Correct. Have not heard back from them yet. So, but you never know.
We cannot respond due to pending litigation. Yeah.
I don't think there's any pending litigation.
No. I haven't heard about that at all.
No.
Do you ever hear what happened with that contract that was sent home to the middle school kids?
That's another thing I want to talk about too tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Was it sent out? Was it actually sent out?
One of the parents posted it.
Right, but was that just?
This was sent out. Well, let me put it this way. I assume that's how the parent got it.
Okay. Yeah. See, I don't know.
Yeah.
I did see it as well.
Yeah.
And that was a contract basically saying that the kid is going to wear a mask.
And it had to be signed by the kid.
And not by the parent.
Yeah. Which is why I said I would have sent it back saying my kid's not old enough to sign a contract. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Do you have anything you want to add about the whole
divorce thing?
Yeah, the whole divorce
I'll say again, it's not like any person is about being right or wrong. It's about who's the kid, what's best for the kid. That's all I can really stress the most. Being through it myself, I've had to even bite my tongue a lot of times, and again, I'm not perfect by any means. Ask my wife, but I made mistakes myself with the whole thing. But it's a matter of trying to keep in perspective what's right and wrong for the kid.
Yeah. Very, very true. Very, very true. And it's like, even if I'm, there have been situations where I'm like, yeah, it's not going to work for me, but it works for the kid.
Yeah.
And it's a learning experience. There's, this stuff can lead to depression.
Yeah.
Theft.
Yeah.
Drug abuse.
Yeah.
And it has, if you don't know where to turn, but it's
I think it ruins a lot of relationships for that kid in the future too, with other people.
Yeah, and Daryl, let's see. Well, let's start with Bob. He said communication is a big thing, and I agree, Bob. I think communication is the only thing.
Yeah,
because if you have the communication with your child's mother or father, then that's 90% of the battle.
Yeah,
right
it's
there. And Daryl says the hardest part is taking the human emotion
bingo
out of it.
Yeah, you got to take your hurt from the relationship and put it aside.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get butt hurt on things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
your ass is gonna hurt big time on a lot of stuff.
But as long as you guys communicate or you're able to communicate, I think that's 90% of the battle. Anyway. All right, Richard. Thank you very much for coming on in today.
You get it? My pleasure. Looking forward to Thursday. Should I be able to make it?
Well, why wouldn't you?
It's that whole work thing again. I don't know, but so far I'm good.
I've been telling you to just quit, man.
I don't know. I'm in.
Nobody listens to me, though. All right. Tomorrow, like I said, we're going to have a couple of parents come in and talking about what happened to one of their kids at school regarding mask wearing and repercussions because of. And it's another conversation.
You got a full house in here tomorrow?
No, just a couple of parents.
I mean, Paul and Jim. And,
Paul.
Paul.
Just Paul.
Let's see, I may have to. I'll have to look at my schedule. Maybe I'll.
Well, I know. You can pop in if you want to. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for
enjoy.
Giddy up. Have a good day.
Hi, this is Alan Gear. You may know me as Mr. Jewett City. I want to tell you about my experience with our local eye doctor, Dr. Joel Zuckerbrun. I recently had cataract surgery, and I was told that I needed new glasses. I didn't know what to do because the problem was this was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Where the heck was I going to